You're recording. All right. My name's Lee Perry. I'm the tutor assessor for this particular unit, and I'm working with 4 students, and we're going to have a discussion about health and safety with regards to outdoor activities. Guys, can you just state your name for the camera, please?
Sam Cuff.
Anthony Bradley. George Bain.
Right. Okay, so if we just start with your first activity. Anthony, you've got yours out, you've got all the stuff out in the front there, so what activities are on there?
It is rock climbing.
Rock climbing, so could you give me a safety area for rock climbing, please?
Falling off the wall.
Falling off the wall, leading to what injury?
You can bang your head or fall onto the floor and break your leg as well if you fall on the wall.
Okay, right. How would you deal with that issue? How would you alleviate that issue?
Be attached to a harness.
Be attached to a harness?
Yeah, and someone belaying you, so there's 2 weights.
Okay, good stuff. Alright, give me another one, please.
You could slip on the holes.
Yeah.
That feels release of falling off the wall if you're not properly up to a harness, or like banging your knees or your elbows.
Yeah. And how has that been reduced in your risk assessment?
Check before you climb, basically. So the instructor there will have a look. If there's any wet or it's bad conditions, then they won't let you do it.
Okay. Sam, give me another one, please, for climbing. Another safety issue.
Smack your head on the wall.
Smack your head. All right. Okay. How's that been reduced?
They make you wear a helmet and they make it secure tightly.
Okay. Sophie, one more.
When your hand's not on properly,
Yeah.
make sure that you tighten your hands up. Make sure you don't hurt yourself.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Basically, if your hands is loose, then you're going to hurt yourself because you won't hold yourself together. And if you have to tighten it up, then you won't.
So if you've got a tighter harness,
Yeah.
what difference is that going to make in terms of health and safety? Guys, feel free to jump in at any point.
It can keep you feel more attached to the ropes. If it's too loose, you can fall out of it.
It's more secure. Yeah. Okay. All right. Give me well, do you guys want to talk about? Do you want to evaluate any of those areas?
Yeah, for mine, falling off the wall of the harness, it prevents you from falling. That's a positive. The negative is that it can be tight around your groin area. It can quite hurt if you're obviously a male.
Yeah.
Something like that. So yeah.
All right, George. Any of the areas you want to evaluate?
There is also if, say the carabiner is loose or anything, any of the equipment like the harness. If you get the instructor to check, then you know you're safe throughout. Because if not, then obviously then it cause a proper risk and you will fall off or slip out or any of that.
For the head helmet one, obviously if you're wearing a helmet and they've done the strap up too tight, and if you fall, it gets caught on anything, it could bang you.
Yeah.
But on the plus side, obviously it protects you if you bang your head on anything, it protects your skull.
Okay, great. All right. With regards to rock climbing, what are the major? I think you've covered kit. Yeah, you've described some of the kit. What does a carabiner look like?
I don't really know, so I can't remember what it was. Is it the hook?
It's the circle thing with the
thing.
little
Like
screw sort of.
Yeah, it's got like a little,
So
it's like a round little hollowed out barrel sort of
Yeah.
thing, and you tighten it up like that.
All right.
no, but it's not too tight, so if you did fall,
Yeah.
it doesn't put anything.
All right.
But then it's not too loose, it doesn't give way.
Can you think of a negative of that carabiner?
Well, it could get to, like, say someone did do it too tight, you won't be able to get it off, you have to break it and get a new one.
Yeah.
And if it was too loose, if it wasn't done properly, you could just knock it with your sleeve, long sleeves, you can open it, pull your sleeve and just come falling down.
All right. All right. Just move on to your emergency action plan.
Rock climbing one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's say someone's not been belayed correctly and they've fallen off the wall and they're laid at the bottom of the wall. Yeah, having fallen 10, 15 feet. What's your next step on your action plan?
Well, they've probably got a broken neck to start with, so...
Well, you can't assume that. So what do you do before? What's your first job?
You go and see them, see if they're alright, start
All right.
talking to them.
Okay. What's next?
Or obviously, if you're going to meet a group of students like us, like we're at Skirm, if that
Yeah.
happens,
Yeah.
then we need supervision for all the other students.
Someone else supervises it. All right. So he's done his checks. He's taken a group off. Yeah. And the checks have established that he's got, let's say, he's got a broken leg. Right. What's next in your plan, Sam?
You get a first aider to come and have a look at, like get an administrator, a first aider who's qualified.
All right. So we've established he's broken. We established he's got a broken leg. Yeah. What do you do next?
Make sure you phone the hospital
Put in the hospital.
for emergency, because then he can get it checked out by them as well properly.
All right.
And whilst that's all happening, you support the next, obviously.
Yeah.
Who phoned the ambulance?
The person who's not, you have two people, you have one person looking after them, you have another person there just to oversee things. We get them to call them because it's easier to keep talking to one person. Say you was down and it's me and George. It's easier for me to keep talking to you than me go off talking and George can speak to you and keep asking the same things you get.
Okay, good stuff. All right, and administratively, what would you do after the accident?
You'd write down what went wrong, then see how you could come across it next time.
Yeah.
And see whose fault was it? If it was my fault or the instructor's fault. Then go from there and see what actually happens if the ambulance come out, what injury was done. And,
All right,
And you
good stuff.
check if there's been any other issues before that.
All right. Okay, so you do it. Yeah. All right. Do you know what that process is called?
I know it is a background check. In case anything's
Well, yeah, I think you've gone through the right process. It's like a rigor check, isn't it? Yeah. But all right. Okay. Well done. Evaluate. What would you think? What's the strength of that whole approach?
that what I've gone through is quite easy to understand. It's got if it is this, if it's not this, which branches you go on. For negative, it says safely transport to doctor or hospital. If you can't move them, but you think you can move them, it's your own opinion. You could hurt them even more. So what I would say, rather than have that, contact the doctor straight away. Explain to them what's happened and what sort of situation they're in, and see if, ask, say, shall I move them or do you want to come up to us? That's what I'll change for that.
George, any strengths and weaknesses relating to that?
Well, I'd say like it covers the whole like range of areas of rock climbing. If anything went wrong, say you've got off wall on wall and like stuff like that, and so if first aid is needed, then you go on to transport in the hospital, further attention, and then if not, then you just basically enter into the accident book. So just record it.
That should be done anyway.
Yeah.
Sam?
Similar to what George said. Obviously, it's covering all the areas.
All right, so everyone's got a job to do. It's covering all the areas. Any other weak areas relating to that?
It doesn't say, because obviously we know where the rock climbing wall is. That's good. I just didn't say if an ambulance comes to it or has to be an air ambulance. If there's an air ambulance, I would say to advise them that you might need an air ambulance rather than a normal ambulance because there's not significant parking space between where the ambulance can and can't get to.
All right, okay, mate. All right, let's move on to the your next activity. That's high ropes as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are there any other risk areas on high ropes that aren't related, that in addition to the climbing, relate to your risk assessment?
Probably the one where you're standing on a beam or something.
Yeah.
When you're up high, you're walking.
Yeah, probably on the beam, if you're up on the top, and when they're saying jump and all that, you jumped and you landed funny, so a gust of wind got you, you smashed your leg, you'll probably break your leg, which means if you're there, you've got to walk halfway, which is quite a long way to walk, so they struggle for you to walk if you're halfway, because you've got a bad leg. So, to change that, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what safety measures you can do.
You probably have to go from pairs.
Someone would have to go up, like an instructor or something, but then you have to have another qualified person now.
Okay. Any other risks on the high ropes that
Like, because it's so high, you could start having a panic attack if you're scared of heights. Obviously, with the high ropes, it's sort of on a boundary.
so what would you do if someone had a panic attack on the high ropes?
You sort of talk to them while another person started climbing to try and help them down. So, without them sort of, whilst they're panicking, maybe have someone on the ground talking to them, trying to calm them down a bit, and then send someone else up who's like a qualified instructor, and then help them down.
Okay.
Because obviously they're too high and yeah.
All right. Okay then. So moving on to what other activities you've done.
Rafting.
All right. So with regards to rafting, Sophie, give me an area of risk in rafting.
Someone drowning.
Right. How?
Falling into the water.
All right. So what have we done to kind of alleviate that risk?
Get them to have their life jacket on to make them feel safe.
Okay.
So they don't feel like they're going to drown.
Okay. Well then, all right. Another one, George.
Say someone could get hit by the paddle,
Yeah.
because obviously you've got about 4 of you on each side.
Yeah.
A straight paddle through you can conk around the back of your head, and
Yeah.
that can cause like concussion, knock you out, which obviously in water you could easily fall off the raft.
And
Then-
what? And how will you reduce that?
Basically you should wear a helmet.
Mm.
Like it won't stop them from hitting you accidentally, but
Yeah.
like it will like protect your head.
Yeah. Sam, give me another one.
See, it depends where you are, but if you're in the sea, you might want to check the tide, because the tide can move the boat, or the boat could get taken by the tide. So, obviously, to stop that, you check the tide beforehand.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, on the kit you mentioned a life raft. What does that? Sorry. Life jacket. What does that look like?
It's a buoyancy
If you're going to explain to me, what's a buoyancy aid?
Orange jacket with a whistle on.
It's like a sleeveless jacket, yeah,
Yeah.
but like, sort of, if it's inflatable, it can be. And also, it's generally fluorescent as well, and it will keep you afloat.
All right.
Stops you from your head going over the water as well.
All right.
Keep you.
With a
The
whistle
life
on.
jacket is stronger than a buoyancy as well.
and it has a whistle on it.
All right. And what other bit of safety kit have we got on a boat?
There is a tub which has got certain things in.
Yeah.
It's got like a foil, a bit of foil that you can go around if you've got hypothermia.
Yeah.
Also, if someone's diabetic, you can put chocolate in there, so
Yeah.
they're a loss of sugar.
Yeah.
You give them that, put all your phones in there, so it keeps them safe.
Okay.
Say if the boat capsized, you can just put
Sure.
chocolate over it, nothing gets wet now.
All right. And a wetsuit?
Yeah,
What type of wetsuit?
Stop you safely falling in the water. It would.
What is it though? What's it look like?
It's like it's basically just a skin tight suit. You zip at the back.
Made of?
What's it made of?
And then I thought it was made of rubber, but
Yeah.
All right. So it's like a rubber.
it's like a
Like
rubbery
material.
fabric-y material.
Yeah.
It's not cotton, because otherwise
Yeah.
you just think it's like a rubbery type thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Keep heating. Water.
Yeah, it keeps heating and the wet out.
Are you sure?
No, heat out. Cold out.
All right. Okay. All right. You've kind of explained it anyway. All right. What's your emergency action? All right. Just go to your emergency action plan. All right. So you're in a boat. Yeah. Someone falls overboard. You're pulling back in. All right. But they've got hypothermia. What's your next step? They're shivering. Sorry. What's your next step?
I'll go to and ask them what's up if they feel cold.
All right. So you've got an assessment.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your next step after the assessment? You've established they've got hypothermia. What's your next step on your
well, I'd probably try and get them back to shore as soon as possible as well.
Alright, is that what's on there?
Yeah.
Alright, so they get back to shore, then what happens, Sam?
Yeah, you get first. On there it says get first aid, Mr. First Aider.
But
Yeah.
first night there should be first aid, so that
So the first aider checks him out, yeah? Yeah. Right, who looks after the group, the other group?
and yeah, the
And then
instructions.
The instructor takes the other group.
Takes them away into something
Alright,
else.
first aider establishes that the guy's he's warming up a little bit and he's alright. Then what you do?
I'll keep them away from the water. I wouldn't let them go back in
No.
because obviously you don't want the temperature to go up and down.
But what, as an instructor, what do you need to do then?
You need to, I'll take him back to Skin Lodge. I'll wait for someone else to come and take over from you. That's what I'll do because he's obviously a bit better now. You know, not fully recovered. He's not gonna. He shouldn't drop down, but then he might do.
Right. So you're monitoring ongoing afterwards. Do you need to do anything else?
Inform the tutor who's
Yeah.
like in charge of the whole thing.
Go
Yeah.
back at Skern Lodge, they did have to call
Yeah, and
when they finished and when they started as well.
Yeah. Alright.
just so they know everyone's safe.
Anything admin wise?
I'll not enter it. I wouldn't enter it in an accident book. I said enter it in an incident book because it's not an accident. It's an incident.
Right. It's an incident.
Yeah.
Procedures, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. Alright. What's your final activity?
Tunnel.
Tunnels. Alright. Sophie, just on tunnels, give me one of the potential risk areas.
Someone having a panic attack in a tunnel.
Alright, and how can you reduce that?
To get them to slow their breathing down and say that everything's going to be okay.
So you reassure them, yeah?
Reassure them,
Essentially.
Yeah.
Alright, give me another one, Sam.
Someone banging their head in the tunnel.
Yeah, and how can you reduce
Make
that
sure
risk
everyone
of-
wears a helmet.
Yeah. Okay, another one?
Well, someone gets stuck because when we was there, I got stuck with a canoe.
Yeah.
So, because it was dangling a bit, so what you could have done is someone the other end pushed it up. As you got in the middle, someone the other end pushed it up a bit more.
Yeah.
And you can get out.
So you got an instructor basically that comes to the rescue.
Yeah, instructor comes to rescue because they know off back around.
Yeah.
So they know where you are.
Alright.
Because there was only one canoe in one of the tunnels.
Any other risks?
Well, I
You
was
get lost.
yeah, I was going to say it's not really a risk, but you could get lost and
Yeah.
that could cause like panic.
Yeah.
Everything. So, like we did with our group, one of us would go through a tunnel first
Yeah.
and then feel out and see if it was safe. And then if so, then we'd all go through it.
Yeah.
And remember where we're going. So if we all went through at the same time, and then we all get like don't know where we are.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot more chance of.
So if you did get lost in the tunnels, what safety measures are in place to reduce
You
that
can
risk?
call and say, how
Yeah.
we are here.
Anything else?
But also
They've
on
got
the,
the-
on the side,
They've
if
got
there's-
opens, they can
Yeah.
open it from different angles.
There's hatches all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Top and bottom, by the way. Yeah.
I found ones on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's your risk assessment to a certain extent. What piece of the kit do you need in the tunnels to be safe?
Helmet.
Helmet.
Predate that to you.
What do the helmets look like in the tunnel?
It's a
Hard hat.
It's a rounded shell
yeah.
Yeah.
with a bit of, I think it's polystyrene, it protects your head.
Yeah, and then plastic around the
You've got a
outside.
bit of plastic that helps you measure it to your head.
Yeah.
And then chin strap as well.
Yeah.
Because you make it readjusted.
Okay. Anything else, Sam? You got a helmet in the tunnels. What else, equipment-wise, do you need?
The instructors had torches,
Right.
but we didn't have them.
Torches, yeah. Yeah. Anything else?
Well, you could possibly, obviously, you need to dress for it.
Yeah.
Because like it's quite wet. It can
Yeah.
get quite wet in there, depending on when it was.
Yeah.
So like wear some rough clothes. And,
Some warm clothes, yeah.
like rough, warm clothes.
Yeah.
You don't mind getting.
Okay.
If it's cold in there, though.
Yeah.
All right. And your emergency action plan, what's the, all right, just talk me through what happened. Just talk me through the whole action plan that you've got written down there. So if you start one by one and then just go through it. So,
What's the incident?
what incident have you got at the top there?
If there was an incident in the tunnel,
All right, let me give you the incident then. Somebody in the tunnel gets knocked out.
Okay.
So what's your next step?
you arrange, well, first you've got to send someone, down to assess them.
Instructor goes, does the assessment, what's next?
You try and put them in a recovery position. If you,
Yeah.
If he's well,
Yeah. Recovery position.
And try and get them out of the tunnel.
Try and get them out of the tunnel, yeah?
You
Yeah.
keep talking to them all the time,
Yeah.
so you can come back.
wake them up.
If they hear
Alright, what's next?
I'll see if I can wake them up like this first before I do anything.
Just see if there's any response. and then-
Alright, so you've established there's no response, they're still unconscious.
I'll check
Right,
the
you-
pulse.
You've done all your ABC checks, you've pulled them out of the tunnel, what's next?
I'll keep them in a recovery position.
Yeah.
And I would inform an ambulance to say we've got a person knocked out.
Right, okay, so, right.
Obviously, by this time you've opened the hatches all over the
Everyone's
place.
out,
Yeah.
everyone's away from the situation.
Yeah,
So,
alright, so who's looking after the other students?
And
the instructor.
Alright,
Because there's 3 instructors at all times, so one person will go off for that.
to take
Yeah.
the other.
There's one instructor and our lecturer, so they will go off together, so
Yeah.
2 people.
And you usually
They're
take
the same.
the other lot, like the rest of the group, away from the incident.
if you got knocked out in your Skern Lodge in the tunnels, do you think anybody would be interested outside that party?
Everyone,
Who?
what it's called.
We do have to inform the
It's
parents
the
about.
HTC,
Alright.
the HTC as well.
Right, well, I mean, we're talking about this plan, so you phone your mum, somebody would phone your parents to let them know what had happened, yeah, that's what you're saying, yeah. Okay, and what happens after that?
That's the 40.
Now, I mean, when you've got them out, they're knocked out on the grass, yeah, what are you going to do? Just leave them there, or?
Well, you
Put-
don't
put-
put them on the
put
grass.
their mum and dad,
You
let them
don't
know
put them
they're
on the
there.
grass, you put them on a rug or something.
They're on a rug, yeah, we're just going to leave them there all night, or?
Wrap them up warm, I would.
Wrap them up warm,
Yeah,
phone for an ambulance.
phone for an ambulance,
Pretty
brilliant,
sure
alright,
it's
thank
the
you.
head injury, then you have to go. Head
Yeah, head injury or something.
injury, then you have to go
Yeah,
straight to hospital anyway, because when we used to do that at school, if someone found their head, then they had no choice.
so you take them to hospital, you won't wait for an ambulance?
No, we just didn't.
I would wait for an
No,
ambulance.
you would.
I would wait for an ambulance. I would never take someone.
No.
An ambulance can take it off your hands.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
What would you do, what type of paperwork would you fill in after that?
in
The tunnels into the
yeah,
actual
Yeah, okay, so the last thing you'd do would be, yeah, alright, okay.
Obviously that's different to Grafton.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, guys, that concludes the interview today. Thank you very much for your responses, and what I'll do is I'll watch the video and then I'll give some feedback to you by, it'll be next week now. Okay, alright, thank you.